9-16. Let's take a look at this one. It kind of brings in a new element because we do bring in, payments versus future value. And by the way, if you know both, or if there is both, you can still do that calculation. And sometimes, and I think we'll have some of those. But let's look at 15. It's the same as 16, just different numbers. But Sherwin-Williams, good old Sherwin, it's going to receive. By the way, Sherwin-Williams has been an excellent stock through the years, but anyhow, we'll receive $18,500 a year for the next 25 years as a result of a picture he has painted. Hell of a painter, that Sherwin. If a discount rate of 12% is applied, should he be willing to sell out his future rights now for $165,000? Well, let's I kind of had the answer up there, and I didn't mean to do that. So again, let's just set it up. If we structure it right, we know our payments 18.5, our number of periods, our rates 12%. Okay, let's calculate then our present value, rate, and number of periods. Ooh, future. No, I don't want future value. I want payment in this case. Okay, and I come up with $145,098, right? So that's what the future value, or the present value of 25 years of payments. That doesn't seem hardly right, does it? I mean, think about this. If you said, man, equals times, really it's going to be $462,500, that you would get if you took the payments, but the present value, that's only that. And again, it's because we're applying that discount rate. So, what happens if I lower the rate? Is this going to go up or down? Okay, it's going to go up, and I'll show you. Okay, now it wouldn't be worthwhile. Isn't that interesting? A lower rate then makes it worthwhile. And sometimes I can wrap my head around this a little bit. And so what I got to do is reverse it and say, well, look at here. Let's say if I was borrowing money to buy a house, right? Okay, if rates were at 10%, I could afford, and I could afford an $18,500 payment. The house I could buy would be $167,900, right? But if rates were at 12%, it's a higher rate that I'm paying. Okay, so the house that I could afford would be worth less. Okay, or not worthless, but worth less money. Okay, and so when I think about it that way, I can get my arms wrapped around it a little bit easier, right? So in this case, the answer would be that. Again, the real answer is a lot more complicated. 12% is a really good number. Besides that, most of the people that I know that take these lump sums are stupid, okay, and they piss this money away, and they'd have been far better off having a steady stream of money, almost regardless of what the rate was, okay. But are these things practical? Well, here, I see this company, J.G. Wentworth. You guys have probably seen some of their stupid ads on TV too, and they are kind of stupid. But what do? Structured settlements. J.G. Wentworth helps you sell your future payments, right? So the promise of future payments, okay? So people get payment streams or offers of payment streams quite often. And give you examples, back when CRP, I used to have customers come into the bank and, maybe they just signed up a 10-year contract, CRP, and they were going to get 20 grand a year, for 10 years or 200,000. And a company would call them and say, hey, I'll tell you what, why should you wait? Why should you take that 20 grand a year for the next 10 years? We'll give you $80,000 today. Okay. And folks that didn't know how to do math real good sometimes would jump on things like that. Okay, it's kind of the same as a reverse mortgage. Okay, people get annuity streams, some of them because they win lottery, some of them from settlements, like tort or legal settlements. They'll get claims like that, payouts come in all sorts of forms. Okay, and here's a company. This is exactly what they do. And you know what? This is exactly the formula then that they use to figure it. Okay, they calculate what kind of a return they want, right? They know what the payment is, whatever the person has, Okay, and they'll know the number of years that that payment's going to continue, and they just calculate what kind of a return they want, and then they offer the cash amount that's based on that. Okay, so relatively simple, okay, for them to do that calculating. So there's 916.